I wanted to take a couple of minutes to make a quick video about TM loading in Territory War and why it's so problematic. So if we look down at the bottom here, we have Boba Fox's two Revan squads, and his Darth Revan squad has already been turn meter loading. You can tell this because there's some damage done, and it has more than one battle over here. So if I went against them, that'd be problematic. But I'm going to show you by deliberately turn loading his Jedi Knight Revan team, which is fairly intimidating. It's got quite a lot of power. I'm obviously not going to use the team I intend to kill it, but I also don't want a team that's going to die instantly either. So I'm going to grab my pretty shockingly bad bounty hunters, and we're going to go in there, and he's going to wipe me off the face of the map. So there goes Revan, splittering Cad Bane. I want to try and make sure I do some damage if I can. So I'm going to pick Jolee simply because he has the lowest gear, and I'm more likely, I might not be able to do any damage. So you're going to have to take my word for it after this, that these guys are TM loaded, because it's not going to look like they are, because I'm going to do no damage. There we go. Alright, so they are TM loaded. Usually there is a little bit of damage to show on the screen. This time there is not going to be because my bounty hunters are terrible. So I now have a turn meter loaded Jedi Knight Revan team. Usually there's like a tiny chunk of protection missing, right? My guys couldn't even do that. But the important thing is that they have been turn meter loaded. Now, I checked on Bobber's swgoh.gg site, and his fastest person in this squad has a speed of 235, and that's Jedi Knight Revan. My Rex has a speed of 291, and that's before the bonuses that he gets. And he gets quite a lot of bonuses, so Rex is very fast. However, because this team has been TM loaded, usually Rex would get to go first, grant tenacity up to everybody, and my clones would get rolling before Jedi Knight Revan even had a chance to act. This time, however, because the other team has been TM loaded, see how they all started with turn meter there? See how now this team all started with turn meter. Now, because my team is so fast, they got one turn, and then I got to go. Usually that will not be the case. With a normal speed team and a normal speed opponent, they will probably all get to go before you do. So now we kind of have to finish them off, but my team has already taken damage. Luckily, my team is somewhat overkill for this, so I kind of made sure that I sent in a team that was not going to have any difficulty because I didn't want to give up a win completely. That would be unfortunate. So unlike my previous efforts, this team actually does some damage to them, as you can tell. And we're just gonna rip them to shreds. So I did this against a team that was not particularly dangerous to TM load because I knew I had a team that could beat it. But this is particularly dangerous if you do it to one of the teams have bonuses to turn meter as they get going. Things like Geonosians, Ewoks, or clones. If somebody TM loads clones, it's very problematic. So the goal here is that if you think you're going to fail, you do things in airplane mode. And I'm going to show you what I mean in a second with a team that is definitely going to fail. So that worked out okay. Now let's TM load this team because I might be able to do a tiny bit. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any damage. We're going to team load them anyway. So I obviously have no decent people left at all. So let's just send in a ragtag bunch of terribles. And we're going to start the battle. And then we're going to turn on aeroplane mode. And then we're going to continue the battle. So I'm actually just going to put this on auto and let my guys go. See if I do any damage at all. Oh, I did some damage. Not a lot, though. Not the tiniest piece. My Vader without Merciless Massacre. I tried to use it. It was good. So now... Oh no, disaster. My team lost. But because I put it in airplane mode, what's going to happen here is I'm dead. Right? I'm dead. And the game is like, well, what do we do? I can't finish this. There is an error with your connection. So what you can do at that point is you can go ahead and close out the game. And if you close out the game, you will still lose the team, right? Because the team got beat. But you won't TM load the opposition squad. The only time to do this would be if you know for a fact you're going to kill a couple of important pieces of the enemy team. So hopefully this has been helpful. Show you what TM loading is, a little bit about why it's so bad, and possible ways to combat it. The long story short is, unless you know that you're going to stomp them, you can just throw on airplane mode, do your battles, and then you can take it off again if you beat them. Right? You will get this same screen if you win, and you can just take off airplane mode, and it'll be fine. So hopefully this helped, and good luck with our future wars, and not TM loading some terrifying teams.